Bitcoin has finally reached our major target at $52,500 that we've had since the rejection at $61,100. If I open the Discord, on the 29th of August, as you can see, when we saw the rejection of $61,100, what I said was that the high wasn't in my opinion and that I was looking for $52,000 next. If I open the chart, the level that I had marked out was $52,500. And when we reached this level on Friday night, so right there, we saw an imbalance at the lows, a reaction, and that's where I implemented the take profit 2 on my short position. So with that said, what happened since our last update and what can you expect next? So honestly, this update will be pretty simple. And anyways, that's what we always do. But in our previous update, if you remember, we had just seen the rejection of $61,100 and that's where I had opened my short position, and also I was very openly bearish with a target again at $52,000. Now I had also outlined one other support level, and that was the low of this imbalance at $55,200. But what I said was that this support level wasn't going to be a very strong one in my opinion. And what happened? We did reach this level, it did offer a decent bounce, but then price simply sliced right through it. We saw a drop towards $52,000, and from there Bitcoin is now offering a decent bounce to the upside of about 4%. With that said, what can you expect next? Well, first of all, if you zoom out, this downtrend on Bitcoin is a bit overextended. We've seen a drop of almost 20% without any decent retracements to the upside. So at this point, as we've reached a major level and we've seen a reaction, we could expect a bit higher prices. Now personally, I haven't opened a long position yet, simply because as usual I don't trade the weekends, and when we reached our support level it was on a Friday night. So again, I wasn't very interested in trading. But in any case, if Bitcoin is able to move higher from here, I have two major targets. The first one would be the high of this imbalance, so at $56,800, and the second one would be this imbalance, so I would say $59,100. Now personally, I don't really expect this target to get reached, but still, you should be aware of it. And of course, these levels are not only targets, but you should expect them to offer resistance if revisited. And we do also have confluence on these imbalances. If you take the volume profile of the range, what you can see is that the value area low comes in as confluence with the first imbalance, and then the point of control comes in as confluence at $59,000. And honestly, that's mainly what I'm looking for to the upside. So we only have two major levels. But to the downside, I don't see any other support level than this one. Now of course, we could go on the 1 hour chart and take the low of the imbalance, which would come in, let's see, at $51,900. So with that said, as I'm not in a long position yet, if we get something like this next week, so maybe a bit more sideways price action, then we see a drop, a break of this low, a break of $52,000, and then a reaction at $51,900, then at this point I might be interested in a long position just to see if Bitcoin will offer a bit of a bigger bounce. However, on the higher time frames, if I just remove this, I do eventually expect Bitcoin to continue to the downside and break back below $49,000. I mean, if you look at this price action, I see a lot of weakness on the charts, and as you all know, I've been bearish since this rejection at $64,000. So on the higher time frames, my bias hasn't really changed. I still expect lower prices. However, right now what you must know is that Bitcoin is at a major support level and could offer, as I said, a bit of a bigger bounce to the upside. And with all of that said, that was mainly it for this update. The charts are very clear, so a quick recap. To the upside, we have two major targets which will also act as resistance in my opinion, and to the downside, if you do get another drop and a rejection of $51,900, then personally I will be interested in a long position. But at this point, I've just implemented the take profit 2 on my short position, as I've showed you on the Discord, and right now I'm not sat in a long position yet. And finally, under higher time frames, as I said, I still remain bearish and expect at some point a break below $49,000. So as usual, that was mainly it for this update. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, I'm available inside the Discord. So see you soon everyone, and good luck.